What is going on, everyone? We are back with another review. Uh, some weird things happened. Um, I've actually, up until now, been really good about this, and I'm going to pay really close attention to what I'm doing. So this is a review for season 1, episode 1 of Welcome to Paradox. The problem is it's not actually episode 1; it's episode 5. Amazon Prime did the thing that, for whatever reason, everyone else does with the first season of Goosebumps, and that's where they mix everything up in terms of release date or release episode count. So even for the watch along, it was for the girl who was plugged in, but it was titled Our Lady of the Machine. So this is actually episode five's review, which is frustrating to say the least. I mean, it at least means one, two, three, four. It at least means I've got something done for later on down the line. But I'm kind of mad that it set itself up like that. I don't know. If I go through and look at it, it looks like oh, whoops, that's not what I wanted. It looks like Our Lady of the Machine is showing up as episode 2. I don't know why it did that. That makes me kind of mad. It says there's 13 episodes, and there are indeed 13 episodes. So they're all there. They just got it out of order for some reason. I don't know. We'll release this when it was supposed to be released. I got to go back through and re-record or record season 1, episode 1. But anyways, I mean, we've already watched this. We're going to talk about the girl who's plugged in. So this, before we get any further, please remember to check the link in the description below. That'll send you over to Patreon, where you are able to get everything a full week early. So it looks like, okay, so it's directed and written. I don't know why they do that every time. So this is called The Girl Who's Plugged In. This is directed by, it looks like it's George Montesi. Could be Jorge. I don't know. And it was written by James Tiptree Jr. and Jeremy Lip. And this episode released September 14th, 1998. And again, this is season 1, episode 5. This involves a woman who is homeless and not very interested in living life, being watched by some secret agency, and they think she'll be perfect for whatever it is she does. She has this patch that she puts on that apparently is able to unalive herself, and she puts it on. She's about to die. They rush her to the hospital and they save her. And the guy basically talks her into becoming the next big thing. She agrees to it. The twist is it's a machine that she's hooked up to, and she controls a doll, a living doll that's able to go and function in and of itself. So she goes and basically they're using her to advertise things without advertising things, because apparently in the place that they're at, which is called Betaville, I think is where they live, or Alphaville. No, it's Betaville. They live in Betaville. And it's funny, this show's apparently inspired by Outer Limits and The Twilight Zone. And I'm actually in the process of watching The Twilight Zone, so that's actually pretty cool. This is definitely way more up my alley and way more messed up, though, because it's more modern than what Twilight Zone was, so I'm all for that. But anyway, so yeah, every story in this thing takes place in what is called Betaville, I think is what it says. And they're all separate of themselves. It's not like it all connects, or at least it doesn't yet. It could at the end. I don't know. I've never seen it, but judging from everything I've read, it is a true anthology series. But yeah, so she becomes the star, um, but it's through being in a robot basically that she's controlling with her mind, and but she's also got like able to feel what the robot feels and stuff like that. And for the first time, she begins to feel love, touch, sensations that she's never had before because of her stature and who she is. And she starts to become obsessed with it. She doesn't eat. She doesn't want to not be in the body. That's all she wants to do is be this person. And she's in this body basically for this company, even though she doesn't really understand that, to advertise. Where in Betaville, advertising in this version of the world, advertising is illegal. So, when she becomes famous, everything that she wears becomes what people want, right? And she starts to be like, well, if these things aren't working for me, if they're causing a rash, or the things that I'm eating are making me sick, why do I want to keep using them? And at that point, the guy's like, ready to cut his losses, ready to just get rid of her, offer, and be done with it. She also starts to fall for the owner of the company's son, and therefore, like, she basically chases him down, and yeah, towards the end, he wants to get the pain receptors out of her because he thinks that she's a real person. The son thinks that Delphi, the main character's robot, is the real person. So he takes her to the lab. He sets up in a way. He gets to the lab, and sorry, ADHD kicked in there for a couple seconds ago. It was bad. Gets into the lab, and when he's like, "Hey, we need to take these receptors out of her," they're like, "We can't. She's a doll." And he's like, "You're lying to me." And his dad's there, and he's like, "No, that's what it is." And all of a sudden, they see her in the chair moving forward, and she's trying to tell him, "It's me." And as she gets closer, he looks disgusted, and he's like backing up from her. And eventually, she falls. And when the doctor checks her pulse, it's not there. He's like, "She's gone." But then all of a sudden, the robot starts moving, and she's like, "Paul," which is the kid's name, and he's like, "Delphi," and she looks at her hands and stuff. She's like, "I'm her." And then she dies. So with her dying moments, she transported herself one more time into the body that she truly wanted to die in. She didn't want to be herself. She wanted to be this being that she'd become. And that's pretty much how it ends. It was okay. So this is for those of you that are watching that are going to be super confused. I do apologize. We spent the entire time of the episode unfortunately thinking it was something that it wasn't. I thought it was the first episode. It was actually the fifth. So this is technically the first episode I've watched. These two videos aren't going to come out until they're supposed to down the line, because I want them to release in order. I hate that Amazon did that. I cannot stand when companies don't put the things out in the order that they're supposed to be. I thought for sure they would, because Twilight Zone has done a really good job of keeping everything in order, but for some reason this is now going to be something else I have to keep an eye on. I actually thought it was really good. It reminds me of a sci-fi Twilight Zone, but with better plot twists or whatever overall. I am going to be super interested to see where this goes. Not obviously it's not like one continuous story. I'll be super interested to see where the other stories go. I'm curious as to why Amazon put this as episode 1. Maybe because it's good and it's to get you hooked so that you'll watch the others. I don't know. And for some reason, I didn't get ads, so maybe because I have Amazon Prime, I don't get the ads through Freevee. So next time we'll throw up a timer. Because like I said, the only reason I didn't have a timer this time was, because I thought I was going to get ads. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching this with me. And again, I did enjoy it. And I hope some of you actually go along this ride with me, because I actually think a lot of people will enjoy this. So with that being said, love you guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.